Good day, guys. My name is Mr. Einstein Pillai Sankaran. Today's topic is about chapter 12, sulfur. This video is specially prepared for the students who are sitting IGCSE 0654 coordinated science. Okay. Now, in my previous video, I also had made some videos for lesson carbonate. As you can see, I like to show to all of you. So this is same for the IGCSE coordinated science 0654. This is for carbonate. I have two lessons. First lesson and then second lesson as well in the next page. Okay, so beside these two lessons, today's lesson is my third lesson for the coordinated science that I put and upload in YouTube. So for today's lesson, we are learning about chapter 12. It is about sulfur. Okay, so sulfur is a non-metal in the periodic table. It is in the group 6, right below oxygen. Okay, for some of you, when we talk about sulfur, you might have some ideas what is sulfur. You might have seen. Okay, for some of you, you may not have seen sulfur in the laboratory. It is okay. So to remember sulfur, I always like to use this analogy. Can you think about one fruit that is very famous in Southeast Asia? It is quite thorny and it has a very strong smell. It is known as king of the fruit. So if you can remember about that fruit, or have you eaten about the fruit, you would remember that fruit contains hydrogen sulfide. Okay, beside that fruit, which is durian, rotten eggs also contain hydrogen sulfide. Okay, so these are usually the smell of hydrogen sulfide. Sulfur itself in a pure form do not have any smell. Okay, but I just like to introduce you so that you can remember and recall this chapter. Now, for this chapter, we are looking two things. First, we are going to understand about the use of sulfur in the manufacturing of sulfuric acid and what are other usage of sulfur. Okay. Second, we want to spend a bit detail about the contact process. So sulfuric acid is manufactured through the contact process. Okay, so remember chapter 12 is talking about sulfur, and we are going to focus on a little bit about the usage of sulfur, but mainly in contact process, how to produce sulfuric acid. So this 4 chemical equation is required in the examination for a coordinated science. So as a student, we need to know how to write these 4 equations. Okay, and I'm going to teach you step by step without memorizing how to write all these 4 equations today. Okay, so guys, are we ready? For this lesson, I like you to have a paper with you, okay, and a pen, because we are going to do some exercises together. And at the end of this lesson, I'm going to post 3 questions and I like you to answer them. Okay. Okay, so the first part is about sulfur. Sulfur is one of the least active non-metal at the room temperature. So sulfur can be found in two ways. They can occur free in nature as a pure sulfur, and usually you can find these in volcanic region like in Italy, okay, in Sicily, Italy, and then some places like Texas and Louisiana in United States. Now, beside that, of course, any place that we have volcanoes like Indonesia, Philippines, we also can get sulfur. So they can be found as a pure sulfur in volcanoes. Beside this, we also can find sulfur in some combined state. Okay, they are in the form of some compound like metallic sulfide. You can see iron pyrite, galena, or metallic sulfates. Okay, gypsum, and also in protein. So, do our body contain sulfur? Yes. All right, our body contains sulfur in the form of protein. Okay, so when in the exam they ask you about sulfur, you need to know it can be found in natural, like in volcanoes, or in terms of compound. You do not need to memorize any of these, just for information for you. Now, properties of sulfur. Again, I like you to take note, maybe one or two of them. Pure sulfur is tasteless. It is also odorless, means it does not have any smell. They are usually brittle. They are poor conductor of heat and electricity because they are non-metal. They're insoluble in water. Melting point about 115 Celsius, boiling point about 444 Celsius. Okay, so these are few properties of sulfur. You don't need to remember all of them. Maybe you take note one or two of them. It's good enough for you. Okay, so this is about sulfur. Now, so what is the usage of sulfur? Probably some of you know, maybe. If those students would like to go to camping, they usually bring sulfur because they usually use sulfur at the campsite so that unwanted insects or maybe animal like snakes will not come to your camping areas. Okay. Now, beside that, sulfur is also a byproduct of natural gas and petroleum. And main use of sulfur is here to make fertilizer. Okay. So to make fertilizer, there are many types of fertilizer made from sulfur. Then sulfur is also used in matches, insecticide, fungicide. Okay. Sulfur is also used in the process to make vulcanized rubber that we usually use to make car tires. Sulfites is another derivative of sulfur, are used to bleach paper and as a preservative for many food stuff, especially the pickle. Now, calcium sulfate is usually used in the cement and plastering for the manufacturing building, okay, construction site. So these are the usage of sulfur. Now, the most important for our topic today is about contact process. Now, you may ask why it is known as contact, why it is called as contact. We will discuss about that. So contact process is the main way to produce sulfuric acid, which are used in many industries. Okay, so sulfuric acid is used to produce fertilizers, produce detergent, and as a chemical synthesis to other type of chemical, electrolyte in the batteries of the vehicle, the petroleum refinery, as well as sulfonating agent used in the manufacturing of paper, dyes, and drug. Okay, so for our coordinated science, we will always discuss about producing fertilizer, using in the detergent, okay, and as well in the electrolyte in batteries. Of course, there are also other and many usages which I'm not covering up because I just want to cover for you what is inside our syllabus. Now, so are you ready with your papers? Because we're going to do this together. We want to learn how to write a word equation as well a balanced chemical equation. Okay. Okay, the first part or the first step, sulfur, okay, is oxidized into sulfur dioxide. This is in the first stage of a contact process. Okay, so we want to learn how to write the word equation. Then we want to learn how to write the balanced chemical equation. Okay, so I like all of you to get a piece of paper. Okay, we're going to learn how to do this. Okay, so now I want you to write first the word equation, giving you a clue. Sulfur react with oxygen to form sulfur dioxide. So let us write together. Okay, sulfur let me see if I can draw inside here. Okay. 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 So guys, this is our third equation. Are you same with me? Sulfur with oxygen to form sulfur dioxide. Now, I want to learn with you how to write chemical equation without memorizing. Now, guys, all of us know sulfur. So, you're going to write S here. Okay? Plus oxygen. And you know, formula of sulfur dioxide is SO2. Okay, you can write the state, this is solid, this is gas, and sulfur dioxide is gas. So this is our first step. Okay, I hope you can follow with me. Okay, now we go back with our this. So we already finished a word equation. We also was able to have a chemical equation. This is very first step. Now, our second step. Okay, in the second step, sulfur dioxide and excess oxygen are passed over a few plates of vanadium oxide. So vanadium oxide here is a catalyst at a 450 Celsius, quite high temperature, to produce sulfur trioxide. So again, write the word equation, write the balanced chemical equation. Just for you, about 99.5% sulfur trioxide is converted to sulfur trioxide, and this is a reversible reaction. So this is a word, reversible reaction. Okay, let's go back to our whiteboard and see what happened here. Okay, so our next one, just now we have sulfur into sulfur dioxide. So now sulfur dioxide plus oxygen. Okay, and then we're going to draw another arrow here. But is it going to be like this? Because just now we heard reversible. No, okay? So going to erase. So remember guys, this is redo, okay, undo. Okay, good. So I'm going to show you a new arrow. So this is a reversible arrow. Okay, so you can see it have both way. Okay. Now, so sulfur dioxide with oxygen become sulfur trioxide. Sulfur. Okay. So this is our second word equation. Now we want to again learn how to write the chemical equation for this. So same, sulfur dioxide, all of you know this is SO2. Of course, by now all of you know oxygen is O2. So guys, if sulfur dioxide is SO2, sulfur trioxide going to be SO. Very good, SO3. So same, reversible reaction, SO3. Now, if you can get up to here, it is very good. Little bit more, if we can see, the amount of oxygen is not balanced. On the left of this equation, we have 4, and on here we have only 3. So guys, whenever we have an odd number in a chemical equation, one of the simple way is to change the odd number to the even number. So over here we have 3. So I'm going to multiply, okay, with 2 over here. So now I have 6 oxygen here. Am I right? I have 2 sulfur here. Gonna multiply another 2 here. So we have 2 sulfur here, 2 sulfur on the right hand side. We have 4 oxygen plus 2, 6 oxygen, and we have 3 times 2, 6 oxygen. So finish. That's all. You don't need to memorize anything. Okay? So now we go back to our PowerPoint. So guys, we are already able to write our second word equation. We are able to write our second balanced chemical equation. Excellent. Now, we go to the next one. Third step. In the third step, the sulfur trioxide is first reacted with the concentrated sulfuric acid to form a product called oleum. So, can you see there is SO3? There is also H2SO4, sulfuric acid, and there's a new thing. It's called oleum. And it's given for you the formula H2S2O7. Can you write the word equation? Can you write a balanced chemical equation with your paper? I'm going to wait for you for 1 minute so that you can follow up with our lesson today. Okay, so same, sulfur trioxide plus sulfuric acid. Okay, then we draw an arrow here. Red color. Okay, and the next part, we know it's a new thing. We know it is oleum. Okay, so same thing. I'm going to write equation for you, and I want to show you we don't need to memorize anything here. Okay. So we have sulfur trioxide here, SO3. And we have the sulfuric acid. All of you know sulfuric acid is H2S2 and O4. So how to get the formula of oleum? So guys, you just write back the same thing. We have H2, so we write down here H is 2. We have 1 sulfur from the sulfur trioxide and 2 sulfur from the sulfuric acid. So H2 become now, S2 become now S3. And then over here, we have 4 O from the sulfuric acid and 3 O from the sulfur trioxide. So total. Okay. Okay, wait, I made a mistake here, guys. This, okay. And this. Okay, good. Okay, so, okay. H2S2O7 because sulfuric acid is H2SO4, not H2S2O4. Sorry. Okay, guys. So now you have done SO3 with sulfuric acid, you make H2S2O7. So this is your oleum. Okay, good. Now we go back to our last thing. Okay. So we were able to write our word equation. We are able to write our balanced chemical equation. The next one. Okay. The oleum is then diluted with water to produce a concentrated sulfuric acid in large quantity. Write the word equation. Okay. So let us do the last today. It's the last equation. So here, let me see if I can. Oh, not enough space. Oh, okay, I can go whiteboard. Okay. So this is my second whiteboard. So again, I'm going to write for you. Over here, we have this oleum. Okay, we have the oleum. We are going to plus with water. Okay. And what will happen? We are going to get a sulfuric acid. Okay. So I'm going to teach you again. Without memorizing, we can write. So guys, we know oleum. Okay, we know oleum already. Okay, we know oleum just now is. Okay. So okay, I write in a blue color pen. H2 S2 O7. Of course, all of you know what the formula is H2O. Okay. So up to here, all of you are able, all of you understand this. And you want to put an arrow here. All right. So up to here is very clear. Now, sulfuric acid, you already know the formula. It is H2SO4. You're going to write that formula. H2SO4. Okay. Now, as we can see, it is not balanced. We have 2H and 2H here, 4H, but we only have 2 here. So we just put a 2 here. Let's see what happened. 2H and 2H is 4H. We have on our right hand side also 4H. Okay. Now we also have here 2 sulfur. We also have here 2 sulfur. We have 7 oxygen and 1 8. Now we have 2 times 4, 8. So it's balanced? Yes, it is balanced. So guys, so class, students, you can see without memorizing, with just a piece of paper and a pencil, you can actually derive all these 4 formula. Number 1, sulfur with oxygen to form sulfur dioxide. Number 2, sulfur dioxide with oxygen to form sulfur trioxide. Sulfur trioxide with sulfuric acid forming oleum. Then followed by oleum with water producing sulfuric acid. If you started to write these a few times, you will definitely know this is the way to do this equation, as it will be tested in the exam for the coordinated science, and you will be asked to derive this equation. Okay, so this is the method that I used to do when I was a student, and I'm still doing it. So it is okay if you make mistake. You saw just now, even me, I can make mistake. So it is okay if you made mistake, because we are all is in the learning process together. Okay, so now we go back to our equation, to our PowerPoint, and we see we're going to finish. Okay, so guys, this is a complete diagram. You can see the first stage here, sulfur react with oxygen to form sulfur dioxide. Okay, this is the first stage happening here. And then this sulfur dioxide will be mixed with the air to form sulfur trioxide. And this is second stage. In this stage, there is some important condition. First, you need a vanadium, okay, 5 oxide as a catalyst. And second, the temperature is about 450 Celsius. So both of these conditions need to be remembered by you. So remember vanadium 5 oxide or vanadium pentaoxide and 450 Celsius. So you can remember, it's very funny, V2O5 and 450 Celsius. Okay. Now, after that, in the next process, the sulfur trioxide is react with the sulfuric acid oleum, and the oleum is again mixed with water to form sulfuric acid. So this is a three-stage process, but we have 4 equations. Okay, for the final stage we have 2 equations. Now, so I like to end our video today, my lesson about this, and I have 3 questions for you, and I'd like you to answer this question as it is usually asked in the examination. You can look in the textbooks or in Google, or you can check with your friends, or you can check with your teachers. You also can post your answers in my YouTube at below. I would like to see what is your answer. Okay, first, why we cannot or we should not add the sulfur trioxide directly into sulfuric acid. Okay, why? Number 2, what is the negative effect of sulfuric acid to the environment? Try to think about this. Some of you might know if your keyword called eutrophication. Okay, number 3, what could human do to reduce the negative effect from the above question, means from the effect of sulfuric acid to the environment? So these 3 key points is something that you need to ponder. It will help to enhance your learning in this chemistry for the coordinated science. Okay, guys, that's all from me for today. If you have any question, post it below. I will answer for you. Okay, bye and have a nice day.